Hello there, my name's Tim Walter. I'm a house healer and an alternative life coach. You'll have to excuse me, I'm a little bit frazzled right now because not only have I just spent probably half an hour, 45 minutes trying to get the online live video stream working on YouTube, but I've also just sat here for 20 minutes and delivered this week's Monday Moments without turning on the camera. So I'm having one of those days. I hope your day is going a little better. Let's get on straight away with this Monday Moments. This is the opportunity that I take to answer your questions, and in future, as I say, if I can get the technology to work, we'll do this live so we can have a live conversation on YouTube. Right, the first thing I want to touch on is that we had a question and comment in from Billy. Thank you, Billy, for all your comments that you've been leaving. And she's saying, now it might have been a throwaway comment, but I'm going to pick it up. She's saying, I'm still having to work out what and how you mean by spiritually clearing. When we talk about all of this work, so house healing is a spiritual healing process, a spiritual clearing process, I do beg your pardon. And what we're doing basically is walking in step with the management upstairs, the angels and the archangels. And when we clear a space, we ask them, we ask their power, their energy, their loving compassion to actually go through a building and clear it. That's a general clearing. So for example, if I was to clear this room, this office right now, I would ask the angels and archangels, having opened up and sat in meditation, I would ask them to draw an ultra-fine meshed net of light and love through this room and take away all the detrimental energy in this space, take it all away to the light to be processed for the good of the universe in the future as appropriate under the laws of grace. Now, that is a simple process. I wouldn't do it now because I'm not in the healing modality. I need to be really calm and really focused in on it to actually make it work. It's no good just kind of stopping in mid-conversation and turning and saying, oh, I think I'll just clear that over there, because you're not in the frequency, you're not really connected into it, right? So when we're spiritually clearing, we are sending healing, loving energy through. We're asking the angels and the archangels to do the clearing for us, okay? Same way as if you go and if you either go and receive a Reiki treatment or you give Reiki treatment to somebody, you're going into that space as a healer, terrible word, as a therapist, you're going into that space and you're allowing that energy, universal energy, to go through you and through to the patient, right? And it's all very much a considered space of healing. Same thing for us. We do the same thing when we're healing a house. I mean, in a way, the house healing that we're talking about is like a Reiki for buildings, for houses, right? It's just that what we do is we go through, we focus on particular issues that need to be addressed, and we ask the angels and the archangels. I had a good example the other day where Lord Metatron, Holy Lord Metatron, actually was called upon to address a particular issue, and the clearing worked. I had a response from the client, say, yep, felt that, this feels completely different. So spiritually clearing, we identify the issue, we ask an archangel as appropriate to do what they need to do. We observe what happens in our inner world. We can see something happening and we register it, and they say when it's done, and we close down again. Job done. Okay, so, and this is not something that's special to individuals. This is something that everybody can do. You have to be in the right frame of mind. You have to do a little bit of self-work to get to a stage where you're happy and confident, and then the process just builds and builds, okay? So that's that one. Nathan has made a really good point in that he has heard of people using their own energy to do healing and have made themselves unwell. In particular, he cited an example of somebody that ended up with cancer. So this is a really, really good point. And in all of this, we don't use our own energy. You never, never, never use your own energy. No matter how compassionate you feel, you never use your own energy and send your own energy to a healing situation. It is a case of allowing energy to come down through, from source, from the management, from the archangels, from the heavenly beings. And that is what, if it goes through you, that is what you then focus it to the target, to the house, to the person that you're aiming it for, right? So you never just start with the energy coming from here. It always comes from upstairs. It can go directly from upstairs straight to the target, and as you are sitting in meditation and having asked for the healing to go, it may be that that's how it appears. It can be a coloured ray of light and it'll go whoosh straight through, or something else will happen. It doesn't need to come through you. You are the observer, and therefore you are aware of something happening and something changing. But it's energy from source, right? Never, ever, ever use your own energy to heal, because you will get unwell. You always sit in meditation, you open up, you do the work, or you allow them to do the work, and then you close down again. That is basic energy management, okay? And if you do that, then you'll be absolutely fine. Obviously, there's kind of steps involved in that, but that's what we talk about on the channel. So look at the videos and pick up what you can and where you can, and ask the questions in the comments section below. And Gourmet Gilda asks, just this afternoon, in fact, she asked, should we give energy back to the earth? If we're using earth energy to do the healing, then should we be giving energy back? I just want to clarify, I'm talking about using spiritual source energy. I also, when I sit in meditation, I guess I'm also connecting to the earth. So we're talking about earth energy, but actually there's, we are beings that mix between the two. So if you need to be specific about getting earth energy involved in there as well as the heavenly energy, then that's fine. I tend to be aware that I've got earth energy coming up when I'm sitting in meditation, but I don't kind of visualize it. What I visualize is the heavenly energies going through, okay? But really, yeah, we're human, so we are automatically balancing those earth energies as they go through us to go to the focus point. That's the way I feel about it. Let's not get too hung up in the technicalities, because actually the technicalities are completely separate and individual to each individual person. But that's part of what you learn when you're doing the work. And this is why we have to be so mindful to actually see and understand how the management and Mother Earth wants us to work, and to understand ourselves and the way that we work in this sense. So, Gilda, no, don't give energy back to the earth, because you're giving your energy away in the same way as I've just described. The earth is a completely altruistic being. We are part of the earth in that sense. So even just by being here and being aware and being concerned and working in harmony with her, and asking her to do some work for us and taking some energy away when it needs to be taken away, then we are sharing, we are celebrating being an earthling in that sense. And Mother Earth knows that and understands that. And in the same way as we don't give back our energy back to the management when we've done a healing, because we need all the energy we can get. Now, it might seem a little bit selfish, but that's not the point. In fact, following the process of energy sharing from them, we are actually being more altruistic, because we're fulfilling our role, if you like. We're combining these energies. We are effecting a change. The fact that we've even chosen to be in that place and time to be concerned and offer compassion for somebody else, and therefore combine these energies in the healing mode, is sufficient. We don't need to give our energy back to the earth. I was getting distracted there because I was thinking, well, we give love and compassion to other people and to our pets and to our children, and to plants and flowers, and that's great. But that's not the same powerful healing energy that we're really tuning into. That is magnetic healing that we talked about there, where where if a child falls over and you give them a hug, that's magnetic healing. It's compassionate healing. But it's not like this healing energy that is specific, focused, and of a very high level of effectiveness, because it comes from upstairs. Hopefully that makes a bit of sense. Just to wrap up with the concept of spiritual healing, right? Or spiritual living, should we say. I started this channel some years ago, and even a year ago, I wouldn't have liked to use the word spiritual. Now I tend to use it all the time. Some people still have trouble understanding what I mean by that, because as one of the videos, one of Hamish Miller's near-death experience videos is constantly highlighting, a lot of people confuse spirituality with religion. Spirituality is nothing to do with religion. Spirituality is what religion has taken hold of and formed a dogma around. It has given structure to what is a natural ability, a natural facet of humanity, which is its spiritual self, okay? We are spiritual, partly spiritual beings. And so a spiritual life, to me, the way that I would define it, is to understand how we walk in step with the management and how the management shows us in our world what their reaction is. So it's like having a conversation. Our life is like a conversation. We can say a comment, the management will respond back in answer by what we experience around us. And that's experience around us in people, experience around us in places, experience around us in situations. And it's up to us, because sometimes it's quite difficult to read what is being shown to us. It's up to us to learn to read it for ourselves. And actually, in a way, your life, everybody's individual life, has its own vocabulary and its own structure. And so therefore, in this sense, in the spiritual sense, there is a uniqueness to each life. And that is its value, is its unique contribution to the whole. Now, that is a purely spiritual perspective. It's a philosophical perspective, if you like. It's not a scientific perspective. Excuse me. So we're not saying there is only one point from which to live one's life, and that's a spiritual life, because also that suggests all sorts of pious intent. And actually living a spiritual life is not about piety. It's about enjoyment, about bringing joy into one's being, into one's self, into one's environment, and celebrating that in that environment, right? And celebrating that joy is part of respect and a sacredness where sacredness is appropriate, you know? It's always remembering that we come from somewhere. We have a connection to the heavenly beings and to the earthly subtle realm beings as well, because that's what we are. We are made of earth stuff, star stuff, but earth stuff, right? So that's our role. That's our place in the universe, and part of that place is to actually make use of our spiritual nature, and our spiritual nature actually enables us to give healing in connection with spiritual energies and earth energy. Okay, we'll be uploading another bit of conversation with Adrian Incledon-Weber on Friday. That's coming up on Friday, and I'll see you next week for Monday Moments. And if I can get it to work on YouTube Live, then we'll get it to work on YouTube Live, and we'll sort out in due course a good time where we can actually get some conversation going on that. But if it's anything like this week, it's not going to be easy. But there we go. Keep your fingers crossed. See you next time now. Take care. Bye.